Kadosh Boker Or Masechet Nazir Daf Amud Aleph 12a1. We're just going to start on Yud Aleph Amud Bet, the last line, where it says Amar Rabbi Yitzhak, the second last line. Amar Rabbi Yitzhak bar Yosef, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. It says Rabbi Yitzhak bar Yosef in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Haomer lishlucho, somebody that comes and tells his shaliach, Tse vekadesh liisha setam, go and get married, right? Get married to me, a woman. Now he says stam, and he doesn't tell him which woman or which city. He tells him, go get me a wife. He doesn't tell him which wife, which woman, not a name, no nada. And he doesn't tell him even where, from where. He could get this, that, yep, nothing.
Easy going.
Asur bechol anashim sheba'olam. Now what happens is that the shaliach dies. Now the shaliach doesn't come back and tell him who did he get married to. So therefore, says the Gemara, Asur bechol hanashim sheba'olam. He's prohibited in all the women in the world. Why? Chazaka shaliach oseh shlichuto. There's a chazaka that a shaliach will come and he will do his shlichut. Vekevan de lo parishle, and since he didn't come and he didn't explain who he got married to, halo yada haynu kadishle. So he doesn't know which one he did the kiddushin to. Meaning, for sure the shliach did a shlichut. He got married. To who? I have no idea. So since we have no idea, everybody's prohibited. So eitvei Resh Lakish Rabbi Yochanan. So asks Resh Lakish to Rabbi Yochanan, Ken setuma, we're going to kinim. You know what kinim are? Not with a kaf. Not with a kaf. I said kinim, yeah, with a kuf. Yeah, kinim are ken mefureshet. What's a ken? Kansipor. Ki kare kansipor lefanecha. What's a kansipor? The birds, right? So it says, when you have a case of a ken situma means you have a group of birds, which is two birds, which you separated for your korban. Now, you didn't say which one's going to be a chatat and which one's going to be an olah. Remember that, let's say, for example, a woman that after yoledet, she has to bring a ken, right? What is a ken? Two birds. One bird is a chatat, and one bird's an olah. That's going to be a zav, zava. All these people, right? Mitzorah, they bring a ken, even a ger, but he brings two what?
Always a pair.
Always a pair. It's always going to be a pair. And one is going to be a chatat, one is going to be a olah, except for a ger. So here it says, a ken situma, sheparcha goza lecha mehen lavir olam. One of them flew away. And it didn't come back. O sheparcha leben chataot hametot, or it flew, right, between the ones which they're going to be chatat, but you can't bring them because they'll have to die. Now they got mixed up. O shemet echa mehen, yikach zug lashani. Take another one. Take another zug, take another pair, and that's it, and you finish the problem. So therefore, right, we're not going to say that since one of them was pushed away from the krava, the other one is also going to be pushed away, right? But rather the second off is going to be kasher. So therefore, right, now we're going to come and we're going to say like this. Vilu ken mefuresha, that's by ken situma. Remember, situma means you didn't say which one was for a chotat, which one's for an olah. Vilu ken mefuresha, now you have a case of a ken mefuresha. What's a ken mefuresha? Which you already come and you already said which one's for a chatat and which one's for an olah. Okay? And one of them ran away and we don't know which one's which. En lo takana, there's no takana. But ilu shakinim be'alma metakninan, but that means even though this one, I don't have a takana, because I don't know if this one was the chatat or the olah, but every single other ken in the world is still going to be okay. We're not going to suspect that maybe one of them that you're going to take is from the one that just ran away. So basically, right, we have the question. The question is, Vamai, why? Why don't we say every single bird in the world is this one? Meaning the question is, why is it that by a woman, I know that I sent the shaliach to get married a woman to me, basically. The shaliach died on the path. We don't know who he got me married to. So if it's like that, why do we say that every single woman in the world is prohibited? Right? Because maybe you got married to this one, and maybe it's a sister, maybe it's a mother, maybe it's a sister, and that means every single woman in the world is prohibited. Why in the world is every single woman in the world prohibited? Because I suspect that maybe it was one second. Over here, we don't suspect that every single bird is going to be prohibited because this was the bird that ran away, or this was something that happened.
What are you going to do with the bird? You just replace him, you take another one, and that's it.
So now says the Gemara, Ve'amai, and why? So he says, Leima kol chada v'chada di'ma'aninu. Why don't we just say that every single one of these birds is that bird? Just like the women. The majority of women were not the krovim of the one that he actually got married to. So Amaleh, he says, Kamina ana, I'm going to say, Isha de lo naida, a woman that she's not moving from one place to another place, she's like kavua. And therefore we say, kol kavua k'mechza mechza dami, which means everything which is fixed, it's like half and half. So therefore, since the woman that he got engaged to is for sure kavua, it's like that everything is there. But to do with the birds, v'amarta li ati surah denai, but now you're going to tell me by a bird that the bird is moving around? Meaning when the bird is moving around, there's nothing fixed. Since it's nothing fixed, we go after the majority in the world. This bird is 1 in a million. So that's it. But to do with something which is fixed in its place, we don't go by the majority. Because something which is fixed is called kavua, is like mechza, it's like 50-50. So since it's 50-50, I look at it as a 50-50 chance. Okay? If you're going to tell me now, that it's going to be that what we're talking about, that she's moving, maybe he actually found her in the shuk, and he got married to her in the shuk. Hatam over there, then she already went back to her house where she's already kvua. But by the ken, the bird never came back to the bird nest. So since the bird never came back to the bird nest, you cannot compare both cases. Okay? Amar Rava. Rava comes and he says, Umodeh Rabbi Yochanan is modeh, Beisha she'en la lo bat, velo bat bat, velo bat ben, velo em, velo em, velo achot, right? Ve'af al pi shayta la achot, v'nitgarsha le'achar miken, but this is what Yitzchak wanted to say before. What happens if he's going to be modeh that a woman does not have no daughter, no granddaughter, no daughter of the son, no mother, no grandmother, no sister, right? And even if she did have a sister, but then she got divorced or whatever it was, afterwards, after the shliach, so therefore she's going to be permitted. Why? Because nobody's going to be her family members. Meaning, this woman doesn't, or for example, Gioret, a woman she converted, she has no family members. So therefore, for sure, a person could get married to her. Because there's no family, there's no doubts, there's nothing there. My tama, what's reasoning? Because at the time that he went and he told her, she was already married to somebody. So when he went and he made her into shliach, it was what he was able to do in that moment. But he says, but if he could not have got married to her at that time, but she was married at the time, he can't make a shliach. Okay, fine. So now we're going to go back to the concept of that a person cannot make a shliach, right, to something which you cannot do right now, right? Because you cannot come and make a shliach on something which is not, meaning like this, you cannot come and make a shliach to get married to you, a woman, and at the time of the shlichut, she was married, and then she got divorced. Because it's not in your mindset, right? Because right now she's a married woman, so you would never even think about that. So it cannot happen. So Tanami learned in the Mishnah, Hareni Nazir, Valai Legalach Nazir. If you remember, we said a person comes and he says he's a Nazir, and he has to do the tiglachat of a Nazir acher, which means he has to bring the korbanot of another Nazir. And his friend hears and he says, Vani avalai legalach Nazir. And me and right, and to me I have to be megalech Nazir. If they're going to be pichim megalchim zeh, they're going to be megalchim zeh. And if not megalchim Nazirim acharim, they're going to be megalech other Nazirim. So bishlama batra'a. I understand why the second one is going to be Mekabel the Nazirut. Ika Kadma Kameh, because there was the first one that he already accepted upon himself, the Nazirut. Ela Kadma'a, but the first one, Mika Batra Kameh, there's nobody there. Which means that according to Rava, a person cannot put something in your mind you don't have. So when he says Velai Legaleach Nazir, right, you only have the kavanah to do it, a Nazir that's right now. You can't be a Nazir later on, because you don't have that in your mindset to do for a Nazir later on. So says the Gemara, Yud Bet Amubet 12b. But this is what it means to say. If he found out that he's going to be a Nazir, so then I'm going to do his tiglachat. Right? So to hear, this is what he told him. If you found in the Megarsha Kadeshli that she's divorced and getting married to him. Which means right now the guy comes and he says, listen, right now she's a married woman, but if she gets divorced, yeah, get her married to me. Why not? He wants to get married to her. So Amri, they said, Lo mashvi ini shliach, ela b'minti de matzi aved hashta. No, he says, no. A person cannot make a shaliach only on something that you could do right now. But you cannot make a shliach, because basically it's a whole question, what is shlichut? If a shlichut is an extension of your hand, right? So therefore, right now, can you get married to this woman? No, she's a married woman. And 2 days she's going to get divorced, fine, but you don't know that. So right now, if he's an extension of your hand, you cannot do something more than what you have, because you only have the power of attorney of what you could do right now. Something that's going to happen later on is something completely different.
But I can make things with condition.
That's we said, right? That's what we just said here. Velo and not. Tashema, what happens if a person comes and he tells us, Elmaleh patupus shelo, kol nedarim shetishto ishti mikan ad she'avo b'makom ploni, afela ve'efela, יכול להיות מופרים תמון לומר אישה יקבן ושיה יפרנו, תביא רבי יושב רבי יוחנן אומר מציל מוכו במקום ששוחרר של אדם כמותו. You see a machloket that a person could come and say to his apotropos, the one that's in charge of his house, any neder that the wife makes, annul it. Now 1 second, did right now she make a neder? No. She didn't make a neder now. So you see from here, how could he do such a thing? It's something in the future. It's something in the future. Even though the second Shita said that Rabbi Yonatan, he argues and he says, no, that's shlucho shel adam kamoto. So to hear the shliach is bimkom shaleach and he could do a faran nedarim. But the first opinion said, no, because isha yikvenu isha yiferenu, only if it's already that you could do it right now, not something else. So ta'ama d'amar rachmana, it's only because the Torah actually said isha yiferenu, but if not, apotropos mefer according to everybody. Meaning, if it wasn't for a pasuk mefurash, according to everybody, he could have done hafarat nedarim, but it's something on the future. So says the Gemara, ve'ilu l'gabed day, but to do with the husband himself. Tanam we learned. Haomer li'ishto, if a person comes and tells his wife, kol nedarim she'tidur mikam ve'ad, she'avo b'makom lo niyu kayamin. Everything that you make a neder from now until I come back, lo amar klum, it's nothing, right? Why? Harei mufarin, it's mufar. Rabbi Eliezer says it's mufar. Chachamim says it's not mufar, which means it was a machloket to do with hafarat nedarim and to do with the kiyum. To do with kiyum, right? Lo amar klum. You cannot be mekayem something if it didn't happen yet. But to do with hafarat nedarim, it was a machloket between Rabbi Eliezer and Chachamim. Rabbi Eliezer says it's mufar. It's like hafara, good hafara. According to Chachamim, it's not good hafara. So Kasal Gadai, I would have thought to say Kiamar Rabbi Yoshia, when Rabbi Yoshia say according to Rabbi Nanda Amli Lo Metzim Yefer that you cannot do hafarat nedarim. We loved Amar Nachmanan if it wouldn't been written in the Torah. Isha Yikvenu Isha Yiferenu apotropos have mefer. So then the apotropos could have done hafarat nedarim. Okay, that means even though the Baal himself cannot do hafarat nedarim, right, it would have been done. The din ma'aliba de Rabbi Eliezer daman, maybe it's according to Rabbi Eliezer that he's saying matzi mefer that he could do hafarat nedarim. If so, right, lama li l'shavu shliach. So therefore, why do I need to make a shliach? So just make it himself, do it himself. Why does he have to make a shliach? Just do it himself. So kasavar, he's going to hold imam mishlin or retachna or mitran. He says no, maybe be'emet he's going to forget, or he's going to be very upset at that time, or maybe he's going to be tarud and he's not going to do it, he's going to forget. So because of all that, that's why you could actually do that, and then afterwards he comes and he's going to do the hafarat nedarim again. That's why he's making a shliach, even though he could have done it himself. Okay? Mishnah. We're going to do the Mishnah and the Gemara, and then we'll stop by the next Mishnah. It says in Mishnah, Harei alai legaleach chetzi nazir. A person comes and he says, I'm going to be megaleach a half of a nazir. V'shama chavero, now the friend hears, and he says, V'ani alai legaleach chetzi nazir. He's also going to do half. So each one has to do a full nazir. Right? These are the words of Rabbi Meir, because there's no such thing as being megaleach a half of a nazir. You have to bring a korban of a full nazir. Chachamim say, Ze megaleach chetzi, v'ze megaleach chetzi nazir. Each one does half. So Amar Rava says, Akol modim, everyone agrees. Kol echad amar, if you say chetzi korban on nazir alai, if you say half of a korban, you could actually do that. Korbanot chetzi nazir alai, but the korbanot of half of the nazir alai, kule korban, you do have to bring the full one. Meaning, it all depends how you say it. If you say half of a korban, that yes. If you say half of the nazirut, it doesn't exist.
When you do half of a korban?
Because I'm going to bring half of your korban. You have to bring a korban. No, you have to bring a korban. I'm saying I'm going to bring half of your korban. So I give you the value of half of the korban. That does exist. But if I say half of the nazirut, there's no such thing as half of the nazirut. So I have to bring, no, that's why. No. The amount of money of a korban, of the nazirut. That's what it means. Okay. So he says, what's the reasoning? There's no such thing as half of a nazirut. Meaning a korban, I could bring the value of half of a korban and then you pay the other half. But to do a nazirut, there's no such thing as half of a nazirut. So when is the machlok between Rabbi Meir and Chachamim? Belishna d'matini pligi, only in the Mishnah of our Mishnah. Rabbi Meir savar kevin damar, but since he says harei alai, so therefore since it's on to me, so you have to bring the full korban. So when you said chetzi nazirut, lo you can't retract. It's like a person that says that he's a nazir, and a few seconds later he says he's not. Rabbanan Savim, Rabbanan hold, Nadaru patach ivo. He says it's like a person that makes a neder, and he has the petach there. So since he has the petach there, he could annul the nazirut. Cool.